I'm running because I want to make sure that when we drop our kids off at school, they're getting educated, not indoctrinated. I want to make sure that our kids, when they go into those school doors, are safe. Today, and the events that took place in Texas are a stark and humbling reminder of just how precious life is. And what an incredible gift that each of us has been given by our Creator to stand here today. Every single life has value, and the most vulnerable among us should be those that we are fighting for and protecting the most. And I can assure you, in my administration, that's exactly what we will do. We will make sure that when a kid is in the womb, they're as safe as they are in a classroom, the workplace, a nursing home, because every stage of life has value.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders said, "We will make sure that when a kid is in the womb, they are as safe as they are in a classroom." I'm sorry, but who wants to tell her? What makes this even more insane, she gave this acceptance speech for winning the Arkansas gubernatorial primary on May 24th. That is the same day as the Uvalde shooting, in which 19 elementary school students were killed in their classroom. Her message on the day that those kids were shot and killed in class is that she's going to make sure to keep kids just as safe as they are in class. So if you're trying to suggest that maybe you're going to keep someone safe, maybe you avoid the one place on the planet that everyone is feeling especially uneasy about on that particular day. And aside from her tone deafness, there's also the fact that she's just spouting a bunch of platitudes that aren't actually grounded in reality. She says she's going to make sure kids are safe in the womb. There are no kids in wombs. In fact, because this is in reference to abortion, what she's actually referencing in 99% of scenarios is a zygote. A zygote, for those who may have missed every science class ever, is not a kid. It's a fertilized egg cell. It's not viable, it doesn't have a heartbeat, it doesn't look like anything because it's a cell and not a kid. And Sanders ostensibly knows that, but she's not trying to relay any semblance of factual information. She's trying to elicit an emotional response. She's trying to manipulate her supporters, and so she uses words like kid to describe a eukaryotic cell because she traffics in deceit. And look, all of this goes to show the extent to which Republicans will refuse to acknowledge objective reality. That Sarah Huckabee Sanders is so hell-bent on willing into existence this alternate reality where schools are still safe is a testament to her inability to see beyond her own bias. She wants to pretend that gun violence doesn't exist because her party is owned by the gun lobby. And so even on the day that 19 kids were killed in a classroom in one of the most horrific mass shootings since Sandy Hook, still she's pretending that classrooms are some little sanctuaries in this country and not the perpetual target that they actually are. Because God forbid you acknowledge objective reality when it contradicts with your partisan worldview. And of course the irony here is that classrooms could be safe. In fact, most of America could be safe. But it's actually Republican policies that ensure that it's not. Here's the thing, no other country in the world has these mass shootings, and yet they have mental illness, they have low rates of religion, they have fatherlessness, they have more than one entrance into sensitive locations, they have pornography, they have all of that. What they don't have is the guns. That's the difference. We have the guns, we have the mass shootings. This isn't rocket science here. So while Republicans pretend that classrooms are safe, the fact is that the reason that they're not is because of Republican policies themselves, wherein they've spent the last 3 decades blocking any meaningful common sense gun safety legislation. The shootings are uniquely American, and they are a policy choice by one party that has their re-election campaigns funded by a gun lobby that exists solely to sell more guns. Seem like a good system? I didn't think so. So look, do I expect Sarah Huckabee Sanders of all people not to be a tone-deaf shill for the farthest right fringes of her base? Of course I expect that. But her supporters should recognize the danger in electing someone who is so willfully blind to what's actually happening in this country today. Not only does she refuse to acknowledge the realities of gun violence, but she also stakes that claim on this wholly unpopular, un-American, Christo-fascist position that the government can tell a person what they can or can't do with their own body. And while I'm not sure that there's enough of an opposition to someone like that in Arkansas, where she's the Republican nominee for governor, I really hope that people across the country who are considering either not voting for Democrats or voting for Republicans can see someone like this and recognize that this is where the modern GOP is. They want to ensure that weapons of war flood our streets while simultaneously stripping you of your bodily autonomy. If that's not the future you want for yourself or your kids, then show up at the ballot box, because they are already broadcasting that this is the future they're thrusting upon everyone in the United States. To see more videos like this, click the subscribe button right here on this screen. And to support my work beyond that, check out my podcast, No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen, where I cover the week's most important stories and interview the biggest players in the world of politics, including President Biden, Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, Elizabeth Warren, Katie Porter, and so many more. The link is also right here on this screen. And finally, to take action yourself and sign petitions on the most important issues, go to briantylercohen.com/petition.